Welcome back. We are in conversation with Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu. You know, CAPEX is something on which you can say that Railways has worked really well in the past 2 years. CAPEX has doubled, if I'm correct.
I would say definitely as compared to what we were.
Yes.
But I'm not happy with this. I would rather it to be financially very vibrant, and that's why I'm saying all these measures that we are taking today, because you cannot get non-fare revenue though increase 80%, but still the potential is so large that we want to realize it cannot happen in 1 year or 2 years. It will happen. That will bring in new stream of revenue. When the dedicated freight corridor will come, then all the doubling, tripling work will complete. So we'll be able to send more trains, we'll be able to send more freight. So obviously volume will increase. So all of that will result into it. So all this will happen in the next 3 years' time. So 2020, freight corridor, doubling, tripling, most of the projects completed. Electrification would have gone to a serious level. More trains would have started running. Trains would be running faster. So therefore more passengers will come. More freight volumes will go because we'll have a timetable freight trains which have started now, but more will fly. And therefore then we'll have more private freight terminals which have increased considerably this year, but more will come in. All of this resulting into a substantial increase in the revenue for the railways.
Right. You know, as far as the CAPEX is concerned, you had targeted around 8.6 lakh crores when you initially took over. Do you think that will be enough or more will be needed? Because the kind of roadmap that you told me,
you're right.
It's a...
No, you're absolutely right. We are already on track of doing that. It's almost 3,75,000 crores in the first 3 years we have targeted. But it is always like this. See, we are not spending anything earlier, so therefore there is no need to expand spending. So because now we are spending, we are realizing that we need to spend more because the need of the organization is coming. Because there was no need was said. Where was the electrification? We said, why should we do electrification? What is the need? Now we increased it to double. So obviously people are realizing, oh, this is necessary. But we didn't think about it. So that is what is going to increase the spending. So maybe we'll not be able to say that just now, how much more. But if you ask me, this is not something which I am saying. In the next 5 years, that is, this is the first 5 year period we have said this, we should even increase it substantially for the next 5 years. Because railways cannot be developed unless we actually invest into the railways.
Right.
In the last 30 years, from 1991, if you look at it, or in 1947 we had almost 90% share, nodal share. We got down and down. From 1991 particularly, but even earlier, we started investing more in roads and less in railways. So as a result of which, the per sector investment in railways has gone down and road has increased. So what will happen? Your competitive sector has grown, so more traffic has gone there, and you are losing out.
So I have a question on that actually. You know, your CAPEX plan and your expenditure plan is fairly well laid out. But on earnings, sir, you know, we have not been able to decipher what will be the strategy of railways to increase your earnings. Non-fare revenue is understood. But what about passenger and freight? Is there any strategy on that?
That's why I just told you that when the dedicated freight corridor will come in, we'll be able to send more freight trains. As it is, you have seen in the last 3 months, as well as the first 2 months of this current financial year, the freight numbers are going up. So more freight is coming. Why is it coming? Because of change in our freight policy. So policy has to change. Physical infrastructure must be put in place so that we can send more trains. We must allow the more and more private sector oriented, market oriented freight policies so that they will also find it easier to do business with us. We'll also like to have private freight terminals because aggregation of commodities is very important. Today we are relying only on 10 commodities. That will never work.
Yes.
So first time we are diversifying the commodities market. First time. In the last 2 years we have taken those measures. So all of this will bring in more freight revenue to the railways.
I would like to put on, I'd like you to put on your CA hat. What will be the impact of GST on the freight business of railways? And secondly, will it lead to increase in passenger fares? 2 questions.
So see, the GST impact could be positive because the number of volume of trade is going to increase, and particularly interstate trade will increase. Interstate trade going up will benefit railways because railway has a natural advantage of doing a long distance freight. On passengers, as I said, we are already working on that. There is already a regulatory framework reset it. We need to look at it, but these are all the ongoing issues. There is not a one-off thing. We cannot say yes or no to any of these things. These are all the things which will keep happening as it will happen.
So is the government open to take some hard decisions on, say, issues like cross-subsidy, because of which, for example, freight rates are really high? Going forward, not now, going forward, do you think government will have to take a call on an issue like cross-subsidy?
In fact, we have reduced the freight for the first time.
Yeah.
And that is why the even volumes are increased as well as the revenues are increased.
Yes.
So we'll have to, these are the measures. See, I'll tell you something. This is unfortunately true, is that there cannot be anything can be said yes and no, one. Number two, nothing can be said to be valid for all times to come. We have to constantly revisit these issues because these are the dynamic issues which will keep evolving, and we must take a call on that.
Right. My last two questions on PPP. You started again a new policy wherein, let's say, station redevelopment. 400 stations are up for redevelopment, but progress has not been up to mark, I would say. Only 2 stations, if I'm correct, have gone to contractors. Are you happy with that, and what can we see regarding station redevelopment?
You must understand this is the most complex PPP model.
Yeah.
Because same place where the trains have to run and the stations have to be developed, and then that too with the private sector participation. As it is, you are also seeing that the real estate market has not been very bullish in the last few years. Also the private investment generally in the investment has gone down, so therefore we have stepped up public investment. So despite this, we are putting 24, 25 things for bidding. We are trying to aggressively market it. Let us wait for the response to see, but I think at least few stations are already under various stages of advanced stages of development, so that will definitely go through.
Right. My last question, sir. How much will Suresh Prabhu rate himself for his performance in this ministry?
See, I am definitely knowing what the railway was, and therefore it is very easy to do it. So therefore I put an objective number. This is not something which is subjective. The problems of railways were put before the parliament through white paper. What we have done in the last 2 years very clearly mentioned in this public report. Whatever said in budget, which everybody liked the budget, so everything is under implementation. So obviously the budget was good, implementation is already there, so the results will come, but the time that it takes for the implementation, we have brought down the time, but still it is going to take some time. That is already happening. Thirdly, a clear vision about what railways should be in the next 5 years, 6 years is very well laid down with a concrete plan, and not just vision. Each and every point in this vision is under implementation. So you yourself can judge it.
Okay, so the message from Suresh Prabhu is that a clear vision on railways for at least the next 5 to 6 years is ready, and he will be implementing that vision as a railway minister of this country. Thanks for watching CNBC TV 18. That was Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu talking to us about his 3 years in this ministry.